Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2005 Kaohsiung World Pool Championships. Race to 5, referee in charge is Mr. Nigel Rees. Let's meet the players. Firstly, would you please welcome from England, 6 times world snooker champion, the one and only Steve Davis. And ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome from Hungary, Vilmos.
And now it's over to our match commentators, Bob Guerrero and Chuck Schreiner.
Hello again, everybody. Welcome to ESPN's continuing coverage of the 2005 World Pool Championships from Kaohsiung, Taiwan. Day 1 competition. It's a match between the second group of players, the incomparable Steve Davis of England drawn against Vilmos of Hungary. We said both these players in Group 2, Chuck Schreiner, along with Bob Guerrero here. And Bob, a man that needs no introduction at all in the world of pool, or snooker for that matter, Steve Davis.
Steve Davis, has been mentioned, the 6-time world snooker champion, trying to make his mark here in this game of 9 ball. He's really taken to this game over the last 10 years. He's really studied it. And let's take a look at what Steve Davis has accomplished in his illustrious career. You can see his titles in snooker, and of course, Moscone Cup winning team in 02, a quarterfinalist in the former quarterfinalist also in the World Snooker Championship. So as early this year, even at the age of 47. So whoever says snooker is a young man's sport.
Well, just making that transition, Bob, from snooker to pool is not the easiest thing to do. As we look at Vilmos, the 20-year-old right-hander, also Euro Tour Germany 3rd place, and look at that, 2003 Junior World Champion. So he has a pedigree behind that name. Also in 2003, the European 9-ball champion. He came in 3rd place in that. So at a tender age of 20. Youth meets veteran experience in the 5th match of the 2005 World Pool Championships.
And Youth has won the lag and will break first here in this race to 5. And it's a scratch off the break.
Nice looking break, but you can see the white ball hitting in that side pocket middle on the left-hand side. So he will sit.
Let's see, does this white go straight down or is it kicked in? Nope, it goes straight down. That goes down as an unforced error for Vilmos.
Marvelous spread on the table, though, so Davis will have his pick, and he will go straight to work on that one. Great spread for him early on, Bob.
You're right about that. It's so painful when you make a good break, you make a good spread, but you lose the white. You're pretty much handing the table over to your opponent. Steve Davis, that familiar technique that has endeared himself to snooker fans all around the world. It's pretty handy when it comes to the 9-ball.
I don't see any problem with any of these balls, Bob, on the table at the moment. Of course, depending on sort of leads he gives himself, but great spacing.
Just needs to dink this white forward, keep the white on the near the right side of the table to get the perfect angle onto the green 6.
Oh boy.
Just
a little
like
bit of a kiss.
Yeah. Just a little bit off the jaws, but now he's got an angle here. He'll take the white into that left side pocket with a little bit of right English, spin the white back up to the top of the table. Just as I say that, he's elected to draw back for the 7 instead. Looks like he had less of an angle than we expected. And this could have gone really wrong for him, Chuck, if he'd drawn this back maybe even an inch longer. He had I would have thought he had a much bigger landing area taking it to the other side, but I guess he felt that there wasn't enough angle off the 6 to power it to the top of your screen. So just need to get ideal position on the 9 and take this first rack.
Beautiful lead, kissing off that top cushion there. He'll anchor this one in easily. So great break by Foldes. First rack goes to Steve Davis. The incomparable Davis leads 1-0. A really unlucky break. When you look at the quality of that break, Bob. We'll get a chance to look at some of the shots preceding this. Davis, after that miss, goes steady to work. There's the 4-ball. Now this next shot, the one you were alluding to before, Bob. Great cut on the 7, bringing the ball down. And relatively easy cut there for the 9. And 1-0 Davis over Foldes. Race to 5, first player to win 5 racks. Will be the winner of this. Remember, it's a round robin. 16 groups of 8 players each. This is a group 2 match.
Rack 2.
Davis to break. Rack 2.
Rack to know.
Yeah, you brought that up, Nick. This is group 2, where you also saw Rodolfo Luat and Yang Ching-shun, Phil Riley of Australia, Steve Higdon of England, and Jerry Calderon also make up this group. And Davis there. This is one of the criticisms of snooker players when they come over to play 9-ball, is that they have to learn the break. And I think Davis has been doing his homework there. That's an excellent break there. Gets the 1 into the side pocket. And then he has a shot here on the red 3. Controls the white very well. When you break, you want the white into the middle of the table. Gives you the best chance to make the first ball. And then, how about that? I thought Davis was going to take this white in between the 9 and the 8 up to the middle of the table for the pink 4 into the lower left. Instead, he collides into the 9. And he's gotten himself in a spot of bother. Does this 4 cut into that side pocket? If it does, Chuck, it's very, very thin.
On the other hand, if he can make this, it looks like it might be clear sailing after that. You can see where the 5 is positioned. But as you say, Bob, tough, tough shot.
Don't be surprised if he elects to play safe here. He can use the 8 or the 9 as blocking balls if he decides to go defensive. Instead, a very confident pot.
There's that 5 with in your TV screen. It looks entirely makeable, but
actually, right now, I don't think he wanted to collide into that other ball. He wanted the white up in the middle of the table.
That's
because
right.
This 5.
That's almost an impossibility there.
He can't make it into the side. If he tries to make it into the lower left corner on your screen, he's going to scratch. So an option here is to bank the 5 into the top left corner. Or maybe even a cross-side bank into the upper right side pocket. But neither of those options, Chuck, are very appealing to him. He's going to have to come up with something here, or maybe even play some kind of a safe. But there are only 4 balls left on the table, so where are you going to hide?
There you see the expression on his face, a little bit of a furrow in his brow there as he was trying to calculate not only this shot, Bob, as you well know, but what he will leave his opponent afterward should he not pot it.
I think he's going to bank to the corner pocket.
Watch for the scratch. Well done, just to stop it, and a beautiful shot. Partly obscured by your screen, but you got a great view over here. Check this out. Look at the way that cue ball stops, Bob. My goodness.
The other criticism of snooker players is that, they don't know the 9-ball shots like banking. You know, but Steve Davis is showing that he can bank, or as they say in snooker, double, as good as the best of them there. And that was really the best choice there, to take that one into the corner pocket, because it afforded the best position onto the brown 7 afterwards. He just had to stop the ball. And Davis stamping his class early on here in this match.
Pot here. Just like that, Steve Davis with a 2-0 lead for Foldes, who really did even get on the table that time. So, action fast and furious here in match number 5. Steve Davis showing his pedigree early and often. Brilliant shot there, but the one on the 5 was the match clincher right there. Everything else was so much routine for him. So rack 3 on the way, Bob.
And one thing we've got to inform our viewers, Steve Davis literally has just come straight off the plane here to the venue. I don't think he even passed by the hotel. So he just made it just in time. So this gentleman is jet lagged and is tired, and yet he's come up with 2 very impressive racks here in this group stage match. And you're right about poor Vilmos Foldes, Chuck. Scratch on the brake in the first rack and then didn't get up in the second one. So this is going to be a chance for us to see him strut his stuff.
Bounce on his chair. Another great break. So we do have a bit of a cluster, a little triangle there on your left-hand side. 5, 7, and 8 ball. No doubt about it, balls are going down when he makes contact.
That was a soft break there, a measured break to take down the 1 ball and then the 2 ball. But there's nothing on this red 3 except for safety. He's gone to hide the white behind the 7 and the 5, and that is a sensational shot there by Vilmos Foldes.
Davis will need all his snookering expertise right now. Might want to think about moving that fly off the 5 ball first.
That might affect the roll of the ball, don't you think, Chuck?
I think Foldes put it there.
Yeah, maybe some of the spin might get taken away. But Foldes came up with an excellent shot there to control the speed of not just the white ball, but the 3 ball as well. And for a 20-year-old guy, he sure has an old head on his shoulders. And Davis, can he kick out of here?
That has been the talk of this tournament. Just and you expressed it very well, Bob. Old head on his shoulders for a 20-year-old. You can see by the plethora of trophies that he has collected in the last couple of years, since 2003, when he really became a force to be reckoned with. There he sits playing with premier players in the world, and probably somebody he grew up admiring.
I'm sure. Foldes now can't have too much respect for his opponent, but this is a real tester. This is not the shot that you want to have to warm up your stroke, because it's a thin cut, and he's overcut it. That was going to be very difficult, especially since he hasn't had much action and he's been planted in his chair for most of this match. Now Davis, we've already seen him make 1 bank in the last rack. Let's see if he can come up with another. I like his chances of making this bank, Chuck, because position onto the pink 4 is quite simple. Just has to hit this one softly, you would think.
And you're right, Bob. Good position on the 4. The trailing 5 about midway up the table. Nestled in front of a pocket, so needs this one. Might be clear sailing. Oh my goodness, and well, he fluffed it.
Well, it's nice to know, Chuck, that the old commentator's curse afflicts all of us at one time or another. And there's those new tighter pockets coming into play. Perhaps with the looser pocket that definitely would have gone down, but instead he rattles it. And Vilmos Foldes now showing that he's really a defensive player first and foremost, as he locks Davis up again.
Well, not much choice there, and Davis squinting. See if he can get a run at that 4, and it looks like he might have a shot, Bob. What do you think? A little straight up.
I think he can get a piece of it. I don't know if he can get enough of this 4 to make it into the corner pocket. He's got the best view.
Here's that's where he's going. Have to draw the cue ball back. Position for the 5.
Yeah. he's not even thinking of potting the ball because it just wasn't on. And this one has to step on the gas, and it looks like it's not going to do that. And that is a substandard safety there by Steve Davis's standard.
So opportunity knocking very loudly the Foldez at the moment. He's got the 4, and if he can bring the cue back, he'll have the 5, which he does. After that, let's see what he's doing, looking for that 6 ball.
I think he just wants the white into the middle of the table here. So give himself a thinnish cut onto the green 6.
Let's see if he can bring it around.
Yeah, I thought the 9 would be blocking it a little bit more, but instead, all he has to do now is hit this with a little bit of follow, avoid the 9, and then avoid the 8 to take the brown 7 into the upper corner pocket.
Does that. Position here critical, and seems to be okay.
Yeah, that was very well played. On the line that he took there was no way he was going to go anywhere near the 8. So he's got slightly hampered cueing here. He may have slightly hampered cueing, but all he needs to do is dink this white forward. He'll be in good shape to hold it within 1.
Nice little triangle there. Draws the cue over to the right. So on the board is Foldez. So 2-1 now in favor of Steve Davis. Well, once he got a chance to get on the table, Bob, he did his job. Steve Davis with the miscue on that 4 ball, costing him dearly in that rack as we check out shot by shot what transpired. The 3. That menacing fly, this time on the 8 ball. And the final 2 shots. So Foldez right back into the thick of things in this Group 2 match. Race to 5. Steve Davis from England will be up for the break. But, you know, looking a little bit haggard. I mean, I can understand. That's a long time from England. How far is it from England to here?
I don't know.
Must be about, what, 12-hour flight anyway, huh?
Yes, I've just been texted by a friend of mine that he once made a 147 in a tournament called the Lada Classic ages ago, and he was jet lagged then too. So I think that when Steve Davis has to travel, good things happen. But right now, how is he lined up here? He's made a ball, and he has a very, very tricky 1-5 combination coming up.
See right there, Bob's alluding to.
Now, you know, these combinations, Chuck, they look straightforward. You know, these are good players, but believe me, this is far from a certainty, especially with these tight pockets. You know, Davis may not even take this on. He may even try some kind of a safety, but I think it's makeable enough for him to give it a good go.
Now, we have talked incessantly pretty much since the beginning of the tournament about the fact that these pockets are a little bit more narrow, but it has come into play time after time. Shots, and we saw that with Steve Davis on the 4 in the last rack. Seemingly, I mean, just looking at it, it looked like a fairly open and shut case, but just a millimeter off. That's all it takes.
Yeah, and I remember that 4 shot. He had to hit that one with pace. So he didn't miss it by much, but it rattled around the jaws. Davis is really thinking about this shot. He's not 100% confident about taking this 1-5 just yet because he knows it is rather missable.
Well, if you look at the other balls on the table, you can understand his consternation because everything else seems pretty... of course, as you say, every shot presents its own type of challenge, but you look at the spread of the balls, and it doesn't appear that the other ones present that much of a degree of difficulty as that shot did. And you were right, but has he left too much for Foldez?
Yeah, he's underhit this. I think he wanted that white to go behind the 9 and the 7. But Davis really was not comfortable with the combination, and so elects to hide for the hills, to go for the hills, and he's left a shot here for Vilmos, but this one is cuttable, but there's hampered queuing because of that black 8. So Voldes will do very well to take this one down.
Oh.
He doesn't like, this guy is very defensive. That's the third or maybe the third time we've seen it in this match where there is an offensive shot on, but he doesn't take it and instead goes for safety.
That would be almost reminiscent of Steve Davis' old snooker days, when the defense is probably more important than offense. And I wonder if he might be playing into the hands of Davis a little bit by taking that sort of strategy. We will see. And Davis.
Boy, is he underhit this one again. Davis is really struggling with the speed of this table. Usually when players are new to the TV table, they find it too fast because of the, sometimes there's heat from the TV lights, but Davis now, that's the third straight safety that he's under hit, and Voldes can see all of this one. And I think Voldes has a very good chance of locking Davis up safe again. He's got the 2, the 6, the 7, and the 9. Those are all possible blocking balls for him.
Now, the 1 ball, would you say, Bob, run it back up to the top, or you're saying that he might play a safety with it, or what exactly would Voldes' strategy be for that 1 ball? And it's not only bothering Voldes at the moment, but Davis has had a couple whacks at it, hasn't been able to get it down. Very precarious position for this.
Yeah, it's a bit awkward so far. But I think, knowing how the way Voldes plays, I think we're going to see another safety here. And he is trying to use the 6 as a blocking ball, and I think he's got there.
He's got the 6, and for insurance, perhaps even the 4. So the match slows down to a snail's pace. Sort of situation where you'd like to see Efrain Reyes. Yeah, I've seen him dislodge himself from tons of situations like this.
Well, Davis has some dislodging to do now. He's going to have to take this white off 1 rail around the 4 and then hope for the best. I'm going to load this up with left English, with running side English, to take this into the 1. Oh, he's loading it up with the other English, maybe hitting it straight.
Trying to weave his way in between. The ball just clears the pocket, so break for him, but straight on shot more or less. Top right hand pocket, Voldes. So perhaps we're off the snide here. Get this game going.
Yeah, Davis needed a little bit of good fortune there. He didn't get it. And Voldes now, just a simple shot to get on position for the 2. We could be seeing a 2-2 scoreline here if he can solve the riddle of these last 6 balls.
Beautiful little triangle there set up with 4, 5, 6. Ball will just have to be pulled down slightly to get in position for that 7.
Voldes is just a little bit awkwardly placed here. Wanted to be either straight onto the 6 into the side or straight into the 6 for the corner. Instead, he has to play it slow and off 2 rails, but he's recovered very well. This young man from Hungary now seems to have pulled this match into, seems to have turned this match into a virtual race to 3.
problem. Kicked off the rail. This ought to do it. So tied at 2. Fuldez spotting Steve Davis a couple of racks and coming right back on. Remember, he only got one shot in the first 2 racks. And he's come on like gangbusters there. A couple mistakes, mental or otherwise, by Steve Davis. Not enough coverage in that particular game as we look at the 4, 5. Little triangle we were talking about. Follows it up. An easy shot on the 9 to clinch it. So 2-2. There's a race to 5 here in Kaohsiung, ESPN's coverage. World Pool Championships 2005. It's a beautiful venue here, Kaohsiung, Taiwan. Bob Guerrero along with Chuck Schreiner here, hoping you're enjoying the action. Match number 5.
Rack 5.
While we're waiting for the break, a couple
2-2.
upsets already. Pagliulian was beaten today. Initial match 5-4. Efren Reyes lost 5-3. Eminem beaten by Salvas 5-4. So first 3 matches, 3 upsets. Yang put it all in perspective by defeating Luat from the Philippines 5-2, and that brings us to match number 5, where we are right now knotted up at 2 apiece.
And right now, Vilmos Fuldez must be wanting to kick himself because he made a good break there, but nothing went down, and the 7, the brown 7, tantalizingly close on the left side of your screen into that side pocket. Instead, it stays up, and he has surrendered the table to Steve Davis. And Davis, I'm not sure if this yellow 1 goes into the lower right corner pocket. Oh, and look at that.
Yeah, the 7.
You and I better not breathe too hard, Chuck, or else that 7 is going to go down.
I'm afraid that fly is going to come back and perch on, and then it will go in. But yeah, just a magnificent break again, as you said, by Fuldez, and that's 2. But he's spread the balls very, very well. But unfortunately, one time he scratches, and the next time he can't get anything to fall for him.
See if this 1 goes in off the rail. No, he's not even going to try that. He's going to go for safe. And once again, Steve Davis just undercooking everything. Once again, very short of pace. And he's left the table for Fuldez.
Well, he's obviously struggling with the pace of the table, like you mentioned. See if Fuldez can take advantage. He, like Davis, is going to play safe.
Yes, and he hasn't come up with a good safe either.
No. So there is a shot on that 1 straight up, on the right-hand side. Let's see if Davis has the confidence to try it.
Still a lot of balls on the table. Don't be surprised if Davis goes into the trenches and gets very, very defensive on us here. Very tactical.
And all the balls on the table.
Looks like he's going to try to bring the white back to where it is in that general area. Run for cover behind all those other balls. And is that 1 going to peek its head out? Yes, it will.
Well, these last 2 games, it's interesting. They start with just great breaks. Both these, nothing wrong with the breaks at all. But then the match just dies for a spell. Until the mistake, until the critical mistake. And the player stepping in to take advantage of it. We're tied at 2-2. Fuldez, a lot of work to do on that 1, trying to see if he can see it straight up. And never mind even getting the cue ball over there.
I don't think this 1. No, there's confirmation. You can't see the 1,
Yeah,
so
I think so.
Vilmos Fuldez is going to have to kick at this.
So that's 3 safety shots. This would be in this rack alone. 3 in the last rack.
9 ball isn't just about offense, but offense is what Vilmos Fuldez is going for there. He calls out his jump stick. He was hoping, I think, for the 1 to go in with the help of the brown 7, perhaps, but it hasn't panned out. Davis is back at the table.
Well, tell you what, he's got, you look at that shot again, but you look at the position of that one, I don't know, that rail.
I think this will go into the corner.
I don't think so, but gets it to go. So drawing first blood. 2. A bit easier.
Yeah, I think he has got the same problem here that he did with the 1. This 2, if it goes down into that lower right corner pocket, will have to come in off that side rail. I don't think it goes directly in, so Davis will try to hit this one with dead weight. Oh, it does go in, but just barely.
Nice shot, and he's got it straight on for the 3. Would open up the 4. So looking further down the line. Perhaps the 5 would present some problems. You see that tucked in. You can see the orange 5 tucked in behind the 9. So critical shot here for Steve. He's going to have to stop it or get behind the 9 somehow so we can pull the 5 straight off the table.
Oh, he's playing for the 5-9 combination.
Yeah. Well,
boy,
you think he was playing for that, or that's just the way it panned out?
Definitely, because I thought he was just going to take this forward and take the white in between the 9 and the 6, and then, you know, take the 5 into that corner pocket on your screen. But instead, he's playing for the 5-9, but he hasn't landed straight, and he's left himself a very, very thin cut.
I thought he was going to try and draw the cue ball back directly behind the 9 ball to give himself a shot straight up at the 5, and that would pretty much, if he just put just a tiny bit of topspin on it, or could even stop the ball just slightly after it got past 9 and straight on for the 6, and then he'd be home free. But
yeah, now I think he's going to maybe try to cut the 5 into the side pocket. This is a very thin cut.
oh boy. Well, open season now for Foldez. He's got several shots that are straight in. If he plays his cards right, this rack is his. 5 and 6, no problem. 5, 6, 7 in fact. I jinxed him last time, so I just better shut up.
Davis won the first 2 racks. Foldez roared back with a 2-pack of his own, and it looks like he's going to make it 3 in a row if he can just manage these last 4 balls. Davis with an uncharacteristic error there on the 5. We've got a match here. Hello.
Yeah.
Slow down. Slow down or hurry up. One or either of the 2 is fine. But he'll take that result.
Did okay. I don't know if that was his plan, but perfect positioning.
I don't think he wanted to be that close to the 7, but perhaps now he'll want to draw this white back to the right of your screen. Though he is a bit straight here. He would have preferred an angle, because then when he draws back, he's going to have to take on semi-tough shot here on this black 8. Davis knows that he's really let himself down in this rack.
I think the 8's no problem for him, because it's nestled pretty even up against that rail. He's going to have to be careful on that positioning, because you can check out where that 9 is, pretty much center of the table and 4/5 down. So see how his draw is. He ideally would like to bring it back. See what kind of shape he puts himself into. In fact, if he can put it right where the ball is now, he's going to go for the other side, which is fine. Good job. So 3-2 it should be. In favor of the young Hungarian, and so it is. So Davis a little bit lethargic, more jet lagged. Foldez stepping into the breach, cleaning it up to take a 3-2 lead in this race to 5. We look back at the rack. A little synopsis here. Studied look on Foldez's face. Davis with the 4, and he would have one more shot, and that was his undoing right there, ladies and gentlemen. And Foldez, no mistake about it, he takes the 3-2 lead going into rack number 6, and with it a little bit of momentum, Bob Guerrero. Okay, Davis to break here.
Rack 6, Steve Davis to break.
It is 2 out of 3, just as you predicted.
Reyes moving over to the left side of the table for his break. Comes up with a soft break. Good position on the white, and the 1 is also down. And this is the break that he's been looking for.
He was hoping actually for that 1 and that 6 to crawl in there on the bottom left-hand side. Didn't watch the 6. Doesn't quite get it. But otherwise, he's in good shape.
Now this layout, it is very makeable, but he has to get very good position off the 4 to get very good position onto the 5. There's not a whole lot of landing area space for the 5, but I think if he just does a soft draw here, he should be just about perfect.
It shows you what I know. I thought he was going to go on the other side.
Oh no, what? He snookered himself, has he?
I don't think so. I think he can see it. But I thought he could see it, but perhaps not. My thinking was he would go to that other side where he had a more straight-in shot for the 4, and he could follow with the 5, which is...
Well, that's all moot and academic there, because he underhit the position onto the pink 4, so still struggling with this table. But he's come up with a good safety here, but that's an unforced error for Steve Davis because he's snookered himself.
Well, the one positive Steve can take out of it is he has left a lot of green between Q and the targets down low. And let's see the predicament that Foldez has with that 4.
That's absolutely right, but I would say he perhaps left himself some blue instead of green.
You know, old age, colors start going. So I don't know if that was a safety or a purpose shot, but Davis certainly has a chance at that 4.
Yeah, I think at the very most, Foldez was trying to get a safety there, but at the very least he was going to get distance. But Davis with a chance here. This is makeable.
Oh.
Wow, will the real Steve Davis please stand up?
But, you know,
that's another mistake, unforced error number 4.
You know, we talk about just a millimeter or 2, and it's, you know, you're going big deal. Well, a millimeter or 2, that's a makeable shot. But a millimeter or 2 can be the difference between sitting down or running the rest of the table. So almost the same shot now for Foldez, except the 4, of course, out just a little bit more. That's really straight. Pots that one.
If this stops right about here, it's a great shot, but instead the table is rolled on him. It's got a little bit further than he expected to. That was a very good effort. Very difficult to judge the speed. And now Vilmos Foldez. Is he going to go to the short stick and reach for the sky here?
You know, with these TV lights, as you were saying, Bob, and Jerry, who I was working with on my last go-around, was what happens when these lights, especially on the first day, and the tables being new covers and everything, the player is just trying to get a whiff of or a sense of how fast this table is, and I think every player has struggled in their own personal way with the table thus far. As Jerry was saying before, by day 3, 4, the table tends to slow down because the dirt and the chalk and everything else that gets on the table.
Dust, yeah. But Foldez not electing to go for the jump stick there. Don't you think he looks a little bit like Peja Stojakovic of the Sacramento Kings?
He does.
Especially from the profile. It's amazing.
Go Kings.
Yeah. But well, he came up with a very smart shot there, though. Just putting lots of distance. And now Davis, I wonder how his confidence is right now. Let's see if he can slice this one in.
He's missed his last 2 shots. Still very much in the thick of things. If he can squeeze that in, and he can't. Oh my goodness. So on and on we go. 3rd game in succession where slow down to, as we said before, a snail's pace. And
you know, there's some 9-ball matches that are just so fluid and so flowing, and there are just some nice 9-ball matches that make you feel like you're stuck in traffic, and I think this is one of them. There's just no, you know, not a whole lot of offense going on, and Vilmos Fold is trying to play safe here, but I don't think he's achieved it, and I just can't imagine Davis. He's made 3 unforced errors in this rack. I can't see him making a 4th here. Surely now he'll put this one down.
contrast this style to the style of Luke Salvas, who plays as if he's double parked. Pots that one. Finally, we get off the snide. And see what sort of position he's given himself. Not too hot. Well, for that 6.
I think he wanted that white up higher up under the table.
Definitely.
But he has made a bank already into this pocket, and I think this 6 will bank as well into the lower left corner pocket if he likes it. No, it looks like he's going to take the white behind the 9 and go for safety again. So we're going to be here for a while, Chuck.
Well, you know, perhaps the sponsors found out that we were a little bit ahead of schedule, so easy way to slow it down. Get your money's worth, folks.
Once again, Chuck, Steve Davis, another under-hit safety. I think that's his 4th already. His timing, his touch has just deserted him already.
Well, what happens, I think, primarily is when a game takes this sort of a nice shot on the 6. When the game slows down like this, nobody can really get any rhythm built up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's precisely the point where we have gotten to these last 3 games.
And let's see if Peja take down this 7 ball here. If he can slam dunk this brown ball down. And he needs to be right-sided on the 8, and that is absolutely perfect. And we're on the cusp of another mild upset here in day 1.
Well, it would be 4-2, and Davis certainly capable of coming back, but a long way to go, and there we have it. So a game that took eternity sees Valdez race to a 4-2 lead over Steve Davis. Again, day 1, so anything can happen between now and the end of the round robin. But right now, it is Valdez that is taking advantage of the mistakes of Steve Davis, although he has made several of his own. As we check out the replay, there's that 6 that took forever to find a home, and then finally the 9, and that cups it up for him. So 4-2 in favor of Valdez. We go to rack number 7, and it becomes a 2 out of 3. Or if you are Valdez, hey, why not end it now? Steve Davis.
And this is the roller
facial
coaster
expressions by Steve. I mean, looks like he's been eating a lemon.
An underripe lemon, if there's such a thing.
Rack 7.
But he has just leaked the last 3 racks, and Vilmos Valdez has a really good chance to take a 5-2 victory home here.
You know, the two or three breaks I've seen him with, he's broken very well. That's not particularly good. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's potted a ball, but that's not as good as some of the other ones. Let's check it out again. But nice separation on the balls. He sends one home in the bottom right.
Vilmos Valdez, if he wants to go offensive here, he can try and kick this one in, but it's going to be very low percentage. I think the big favorite here is to play a push out. Now, having said that, you can either push out or maybe you can kick off this one rail. Yeah.
That's exactly
that is a great idea. That I'm not sure if it's executed precisely the way he wanted it to be, but that was an excellent piece of creativity there by Vilmos Foldes. Kick the white off the rail into the 1 and try to kill the white behind the 2.
That's exactly what happened.
Yes, but unfortunately Davis can see the 1 here. And if Davis is feeling lucky, he can even take this 1-5 combination. He's looking at it. He needs something to spark him here because he has not brought his A game thus far.
Again, both these players just trying to find their rhythm. And it's a 5. And gives it to 1 first. Nice shot by Davis under some pressure to get himself back into this match. He trails 4-2.
Boy, he really needed that one. Steve Davis is back in business. This will pull him to within 4-3, and he'll be breaking 2 if he can get this rack. So it's far from over. And Nigel Rees really looking at Steve Davis to make sure he doesn't foul there.
For those of you new to the game, no part of your clothing in contact with the table or a ball. So hence the microscopic look. Davis is over the ball.
Yeah, actually, Chuck, there are some tournaments, even big televised pro tournaments, that are that use the cue ball fouls only rule, where you cannot foul on the cue ball, but if your clothing touches another ball or your cue touches another ball, you just replace it. But this is an all ball fouls tournament, so if you hit any other balls, it is foul, and it's ball in hand for your opponent. And Steve just a little short there, but he's just gonna wheel this white around the 9, take the 9 into the same pocket, and pull to within 1.
Double banking it, and elementary indeed for a player of the caliber of Steve Davis. So he climbs to within 4-3. So Foldes is repulsed on his way to the race of 5, and we'll see if Steve can keep his momentum up. And as Bob has mentioned, he will be breaking. And let's take a look at the rack right before us. Is at 4, and Davis going to work on the 7. Pretty easy stuff after that. A promising break by Foldes, but not able to carry it through fruition. We'll be going to rack number 8. Those of you who are big Steve Davis fans, well, no doubt you have seen him come back from much more dire situations than this. Foldes right there, anxiously holding on.
Rack 8, Steve Davis to break. Train 3 racks to 4.
Big break coming up here for Steve Davis. He's got to get a ball down, got to get position on the lowered ball. Goes for the soft break, and
yeah, he gets one.
Eventually finds gravity.
Now we get a chance to see this again. I want you to take a look at the 6 ball, how he almost looked like he was trying to get that wing ball to go there down low. He couldn't get it, but he gets a fortuitous bounce off that 1 there. Boom. Sends it home the top right-hand side.
Now let's see if Davis goes offensive here on this 1. He can cross-side bank it into the left side pocket, or he can play safe, use the 5-2 and the 3 ball perhaps. That is also an option. I don't think this white goes into the side pocket there on your screen. That looks a little bit tight to me. So,
well,
I think he's going to play safe.
You think so? I don't know. I think he can see it, but whether he's going to go for it, and you're right, Bob. That's why he's down there and I'm up here. Great shot by Davis.
Very prudent decision making by the Englishman. And the white is cuddled up behind the blue 2, and Vilmos Foldes is going to need some good fortune here.
Well, he's going to need patience, too, because anytime you let Davis dictate a match like this with his snooker background, just one mistake is all it takes, and Steve has made his fair share of mistakes in this match, don't get me wrong, but I think when it comes down to crunch time, I wouldn't bet on him flinching first. So what Foldez needs to do is take this match by the throat right now, pot a couple if he can, but it's not going to be this time around, I'm afraid.
Yeah, his best hope now is to kick out of this. He's looking at a 2-rail kick. Of course, very awkward cueing. And so he's just going to take his jump cue out. It looks like he's just going to try and perhaps jump over a bit of that blue 2. Oh, now I don't know what he's doing, because he's looking for something there in his bag and he hasn't taken it out. The other option, of course, is to go up the table, a 2 or 3 rail kick. That's going to be very difficult as well. So the safety of Steve Davis proving to be devastatingly effective.
Yeah, it's a beautiful shot. Beautiful shot by Davis. And it just goes to show you, even in pool, as you were alluding to before, sometimes it's the shots that aren't made. It's the strategy that's put forth that can really give a headache. And you can see Foldez still. Now he's calling for the bridge, and look at that, maybe discard that.
I think this is the best option. To take that 2-rail kick, use the rest, and then pray that he gets a good result. He's not going to clip it.
Good piece of it, so Davis.
Now this is not a straightforward layout. No. First of all, he has to play this. Either he's going to play the 1-4 combination. Look at here, just miscalculated it. Using the rest. Davis is going to take the 1-4 combination. And then he has to decide, how am I going to play the 2? Am I going to play the 2 as a 2-5 combination, or the 2 into the side pocket or up into the left corner pocket? There's lots of decisions to be made here.
Or the 1. You can stop the 1. Still have a straight-on shot at the 2. Follow that with the 3 on the far right-hand side. Of course, I'm just now realizing this. Even Davis realized it the moment he stood up. That's what he's going to do.
Nifty shot there to take that one off the side rail. If he can get this 2, Davis should be in open water.
Yeah, he should be. 2, and making sure that he stops it so that he's got an open shot at the 3. Stop that again for the 5, and then should be home free.
That white clanging into the black 8, but it's not going to bother him because the hard work has been done, and looks like we've got ourselves another hill match here on the TV table.
The 5 is there.
This is where the lag comes into play, of course. Vilmos Foldez won the lag. So when you win the lag in alternate break, you break first and you also break last if it goes to a deciding rack. And it is going to go to a deciding rack unless Davis slips up here, which is highly unlikely.
Well, the only thing I'd be concerned about is that 8 hugging that rail there, and he's going to have to make sure he can draw it back. He's done enough. So Steve Davis will, in fact, tie up this match 4-4. That's what we'd love to see. The viewers love to see. We love to see it also. A race to 1. So Davis, after winning the first 2 racks, losing the next 4, rebounds very nicely indeed on the strength of a great safety shot that befuddles Foldez. We look back. There's that combination, 4-1 or 1-4 that started it all. Relatively easy shot with the 2 and the 7, and the rest of it you can see for yourself. So 4-4. One of the sentimental favorites, probably I would imagine, along with Efren Reyes, has knotted things up. And And it is a race to 1 now. Now, Bob, you looked at me funny then. A sentimental favorite, I would think. All right, Efren Reyes, Steve Davis. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Reyes is definitely a favorite in any tournament, but the man in your picture...
Sentimental favorite.
Yeah.
In other words, you've got the fan that
Yes.
they support around the world.
Nice break.
But Davis, you know, he's made the quarterfinal stage before, so you never know. But first, he's got to hurdle Vilmos Foldes. He comes up with a medium speed break there, and he has a ball down. Is the one gonna show?
Doesn't look like it, huh?
This is close, but I don't think he's got a shot on the one.
Tell you, these wing balls are falling like crazy. Check out the 4 and boom.
This is not the situation that Foldes wanted to be in off the break. How do you push out?
Now on your screen you might be looking at the 5-8 and well, can he slip it in between there and just nudge, just tease that one ball into that pocket?
No, he can't, so he's just gonna have to kick at this. This is a huge shot here. Can he get the kick safe?
Yeah.
Yes, he can.
Good job. It's a good job. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think there's any way Steven can see that. Now he does. Would he have a shot? Or perhaps a bank. We'll check that. A pocket in the middle. Go for that.
Playing a counter safety, and I'm not so sure about that one. Davis, his body language says it all there. I think he knows that he's left a shot here for Foldes. But this is close. It depends on where the pocket is. I think well, he may have the 2 in the way as well. So I just love it, Chuck, when you have a hill match, a decision match, and it turns into a cat and mouse.
Well, we have seen already in this match alone, Bob, 2 or 3 of these games settled by, you know, just an error here, an error there. This is the way these guys approach the match, and very defensively from time to time. Davis, we might expect that from because of his snooker background. Not to say he's not aggressive on the pool table, he certainly is.
Yes, and I think he's going to get aggressive right now because he has seen Vilmos Foldes try to play safe, and he's done it unsuccessfully, and he just has to buckle down here because this is as good an opportunity as he'll get to win this opening match.
Oh my goodness. Plus that, well, let's see just how badly he gets hurt by this. And check it out. It was never close. Let's be realistic.
He must be trying to put some kind of side spin there, and he just didn't hit it cleanly. And it squirted on him, and he hit it straight, and then to add insult to injury, a very unlucky scratch. And now it's all up to Vilmos Foldes. He's got to be feeling the heat right now, Chuck. It's ball in hand. It should be an elementary run out, but then this is the World Pool Championship. This is a hill match. His opponent is Steve Davis, so he's got to think this through very well. The 2 does not pass into the lower corner pocket. He's going to have to take it upstairs, and has he overrun it?
Almost.
Boy, he really didn't want to be there. I think he wanted to be further right.
Yeah, he did.
Now he has to take a reverse cut, what they call a cut into a blind pocket, top left, and then worry about position onto the red 3 as well. There's confirmation that 2 does not pass into that upper right corner pocket.
That's a nice shot. That's a quality shot right there. Let's see what kind of lead he's given himself.
You said it, Chuck. That was a crucial shot. He could not afford to rattle that one.
Can see it.
Folders, perhaps what he wants to do here is take this one 3-rail, side cushion, bottom cushion, the other side cushion, then back out to the middle of the table. That would be my choice. That would completely take the 6 and the 9 out of play. He has awkward queuing here. Just like that. Is the white going to get into position? Yes, it will.
Oh, that's a great shot. What a lead. Foldez pressing all the right buttons here. This last game, last rack, they are tied up at 4-4. 5th match of this tournament.
If you've just joined us at home, Davis won the first 2 racks, and then Foldez pounced on several errors by Steve Davis to roar back with the last 4. Then Davis has come up with the last 2, and that's how we got here 4-all. So Vilmos Foldez of Hungary, 4 balls away from an upset here in day 1 of the World Pool Championship.
Also, for you those just watching us, there has been 3 other upsets. Albeit, you know, anything can happen. It is very, very early days, and it is a round robin. There are 8 guys in each group. But still, you want to hit the ground running, as they say. In the case of the world champion, Taggy Lane, and veteran Efren Reyes, well, actually, and then also 2001 champion, that just didn't happen for him. So there's the 6. That was a ball I was worried about. And, he pots it.
Foldez there, very fortunate that nothing untoward happened when the white collided with the brown 7. Now he's a bit straighter there here than he would have liked. He's just going to cheat the pocket. Took the 8 into the left side to force more angle, to spit the white back into the middle of the table, and this is the final nail here on Steve Davis's coffin.
Very makeable shot. But we saw Davis miss one a bit similar to that earlier, but not the young man from Hungary as he clinches it. Steve Davis, jet lag and all, will have to bide his time, and another one bites the dust, as the song goes. And smile from your winner, Vilmos Foldez from Hungary. And Steve Davis, another one of his scalps in his belt. So 5-4 win in this Group 2 race to 5. So lots of upsets today, and yeah, very happy to sign your autograph, my autograph, ma'am, in your book. So very strategic, sometimes a very slow moving match, but at the end of the day, I thought Foldez deserved.
Yeah, I think Davis made too many mistakes, and Foldez was able to capitalize on most of them.
Okay, so Steve Davis have to wait till later to try and recover. There is ample time, so despite all the upsets we've had to perhaps some of your favorite players today,
Well, what an unexpected day. It's been yet another upset of another giant who's lost his match on the CD table. But all's not lost for Steve Davis. He has to play against 6 other players in his group to redeem himself. Well, it's been a great day of matches. Spectators really treated to world-class talent here at the World Pool Championship. It's been the first session of day 1. We'll see you in just a while. In half an hour, it's the second session. Join us then right here on ESPN.